students, welcome to the online session or the subject of structural analysis. This subject of structural analysis is mainly for the student of structural engineering. Basically, in design of any kind of a structure, first of all, analysis is required to be done. If the analysis of the structure is done properly, then the design of the structure can be done properly. So basically, we can say that structural analysis is very important subject for the structural engineering students. So let's start with this important subject of structural analysis. So 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Hello students, welcome to our online session. Basically, today we are going to discuss the chapter of influence line diagram. Let's see what are the contents that we are going to discuss in this session. Basically, we are going to discuss first of all the basics thing. This is the bending moment and the shear force diagram that we need in our structural analysis. For any kind of a structural analysis, we require the bending moment and shear force diagram. So basically, we will discuss, we will recall it. After that, we are going to see the sign conventions. After that, we are going to discuss the introduction of the influence line diagram. At the same time, we will be dealing with the definition of the influence line diagram, and we will be also discussing the difference between the influence line diagram and the bending moment diagram. So let's start with our today's session. Basically, the first thing that we need is to recall the concepts of the bending moment and the shear force diagram, because influence line diagram is also kind of a structural analysis only. We are going with the analysis of a structure, either it is a beam or a column or any kind of a structure. It can be either the bridges also, and it can be either the different mechanical component also. The main thing that is the analysis is required to be done, and for that purpose we require the bending moment and the shear force diagram. So let's recall it. Basically, bending moment and the shear force diagram shows the variation of the bending moment and the shear force. In the diagram, basically the variations with the span, what will be the variation in the value of the shear force, what will be the variation in the value of the bending moment, that we can get from the bending moment the shear force diagram. Okay, it can be different at a different span of a beam. When a load or a set of load is applied to it of a structural member, means whenever the load is applied, obviously there will be some shear force and some bending moment at different point on a beam. So that value we can get it from the shear force diagram. Means the analysis or the engineer who is going to design that beam, he can come to know about the different values of the shear force by just watching the shear force or the bending moment diagram. Okay, so that is the thing. Points of action of this load will be fixed. Basically, in this bending moment and shear force diagram, the point of action will be fixed. Means, for example, if the span of the beam is 5 meters, so the loading point will be fixed. For example, if the condition is like that, there is a point load at a 3 meter from the left of sun, then this condition will be fixed throughout in this member. Okay, and we have to make the shear force and bending moment diagram accordingly. This diagram are useful to determine the maximum bending moment Bm, denoted by Bm, and the shear force that is denoted by the Sf. Develop in the member and the location of the point of the maximum value to the application of the load. With the help of this bending moment diagram and the shear force diagram, we can come to know what is the maximum value of the shear force and the bending moment the beam have. We can come to know about that, and at the same time we can also come to know about the point, the location on the beam where we are getting the maximum value of the bending moment and the shear force. So this is some introduction. Now moving towards the next thing, that is the sign convention. You can see over here we have cutted the beam into two equal parts. So on the left hand side of the face of the cutted member, the positive values are. And you can see over here that is there on the left side of the cutted member. Okay, the left hand side of the cutted member, there will be a positive value denoted by N, that is normal force, that will be acting to the right side, means it is being tending to elongate the section. The segment of that beam section is means that force is trying to elongate, and that sign will be termed as the positive sign. Now moving toward the next, that is the shear force, that is denoted by V. So basically shear force are those loads whose direction of the action is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of the member. Okay, so here we have the shear force that acts in downward direction and that tends to rotate the segment in a clockwise direction. And we also have the bending moment that acts counterclockwise and that tends to bend the member in a concave upwards so as to hold the water. So you can see over here there is an N value on the left side left side figure. There is an N value which is moving towards the right, that will be termed as positive value because it is elongating the section. So means it is providing the tensile load. Tensile load is termed to be positive. We also have the shear force which is in the downward direction, that tends to rotate the member, or we can say that the segment, into the clockwise direction. Okay, you can see over here there is a V which is in downward direction. Over here we also have the bending moment whose direction is in counterclockwise, means the anti-clockwise. So that will be termed as the positive sign. Okay, you can see over here we have a segment, a particular section where the normal force is trying to elongate. It is both of them are moving in opposite direction, that is trying to elongate. So whenever the forces or the normal forces are acting in such a way, it is termed as the positive normal force. Moving towards the positive shear. So whenever on the left hand side, if the shear force is in upward direction, and on the right hand side, if the shear force is in downward direction, then whenever such kind of arrangement occurs in a beam regarding the shear force, then such kind of shear force is termed to be the positive shear force. And last thing, that is the bending moment. So whenever on the right hand side, if the bending moment is in anti-clockwise, and on the left hand side if the bending moment is in clockwise, then such type of action, such kind of bending moment is termed to be a positive bending moment. Okay, you can see over here we have a simple supported beam which is having a point load at the center, a concentrated point load at the center, means the span is L, and at L by 2 the point load is there. The intensity of the point load is P. Okay, so you can see over here that we will be drawing the shear force. It will be like a rectangular only. The positive will be in upward direction and the negative will be in the downward direction. Okay, so such kind of shear force will be there. Okay, and the shear force intensity will be P by 2, P by 2. 1 P by 2, that will be above the central line and it is positive, and 1 P by 2 will be minus P by 2, that will be below the central line, and that will be termed as the negative shear force. Okay, so this is how we will be making the shear force diagram figure, and at the same time you can see that there is a bending moment diagram. Okay, its intensity will be, for a point load the intensity will be PL by 4. Okay, so it will be at the center. Okay, so this is how the bending moment and shear force diagram for the simply supported beam can be drawn. Now for a particular, we can say that similar kind of bending moment and shear force diagram can be drawn in different types of member also. Okay, you can see over here that there is a point load having intensity of F at a distance A, from the left hand side, that is the R1 support, and it is having a distance B at the right hand side, that is from the R2. So similar way, the positive that is noted by denoted in a yellow color will be above the center line, and the negative shear force will be denoted by the green line, that will be below the center. Okay. And finally, we will be also drawing the bending moment diagram. Okay. Now talking about the UDL, whenever the UDL is acting onto it, you can see over here, whenever the UDL is acting, the shear force, talking about the shear force, it will be in a slant line, it will be in an oblique line. Okay. So on the left hand side, it will be positive, and on the right hand side, moving towards the from left hand side to right hand side, it will be moving towards, it will be converting into a negative. Okay. So there will be a point of a zero shear, and at the point of the zero shear, you all know that there is a maximum bending moment. Okay. So you can see over here. For this particular diagram, there we will be also drawing the bending moment diagram. It will be parabolic because it is a UDL. So for UDL, the shear force will be of slant line, and the UDL will be of a parabolic line. Okay, it will be positive. So in this way, we are drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram for point load and the UDL, uniformly distributed load. Now talking to our main word of this chapter, that is the influence line. What are this? Means when the applied load is not fixed, means it is keeping on moving over the whole span. It is we can say that it is moving throughout the span. At different time, it will be a different location. We use influence lines to determine the impact of the live moving load at a particular single point as the load moves across the beam. The load will be moving continuously over the span of a structure. We can say that the load will be moving on the beam. At some time it will be at 2 meter, at some time it will be at 4 meter on the beam. So such kind of, whenever the moving load is acting onto the beam, then in order to analyze such kind of beam, we require the influence lines. Okay, influence lines are important in the design of the structure that resists the live moving. Influence line diagram are very much useful in the designing of the bridges, because on the bridges the vehicles are keeping on moving. There will be a continuous action of a live load. Such cases, in such condition, the analysis can be done in a proper way by adopting the influence line. In the design of an RCC structure also, we are also using the influence line in different kind of bridges, pedestal bridges or simple bridges, in any kind of bridges. Influence line diagram are very much needed, and it is highly used in the analysis, it is highly used in the designing of the bridges. Okay, you can see over here the influence line. Okay, here we have the two supports, two simple supports at A and B. The unit load is acting at some distance x from A, and there is also a point C at which we needed the shear force and bending moment. So we have to find that. So talking about the condition at which the shear force is at, or we can say that the unit load is at B, at that point the influence line diagram for the reaction at B will be in such a way. You can see over here, you can see figure number A for the influence line diagram when it is about the reaction at B. When reaction at B is equal to 1, at that point it will be the shear force value will be unit at point B, and it will be 0 at A, and at distance x it will be equal to x by L. Okay, means the distance x divided by the overall span of the beam. Similar way, talking about the ILD diagram for reaction at A. When reaction of A is equal to 1 and reaction of B equal to 0, then at that point in the shear force diagram, the value will be unit at location A and it will be 0 at B. And particularly at a point X, the intensity of the shear force will be equal to 1 minus X by L. These are the generalized formula for finding the shear force in such kind of condition. Now, talking about the shear force diagram at C point, let's see how it will be. The unit load will be acting at the distance X. So, in this way, if we want to find the shear force at C, then it will be equal to 1 minus A by L on just left of point C. Means above the center line it will be equal to 1 minus A by L, and below the center line means on just left of the point C, its intensity will be minus A by L, and the intensity of the loading at the distance X will be equal to X by L only. Okay, this way whenever you need to find the shear force at a particular point, then you can adopt this formula. Now, talking about the ILD for the bending moment at point C when the unit load is acting at a distance X. So, in order to find that, the formula will be A into L minus A by L. A is nothing but a distance of point at which we needed the bending moment from the A or the leftmost point. And the intensity at the point at which the unit load is acting, it will be equal to X into L minus A by L. L is the overall span, A is the point at which we needed the bending moment, and X is the distance from the left or the particular reference point from which the load or the unit load is acting. So, in this way you can prepare the shear force and the bending moment diagram using the influence line diagram. Okay. Now, definition. An influence line diagram represents the variation of the shear force, bending moment and a deflection at a specific point in a member as a concentrated load is moving on the member. It meant when the concentrated load is moving at particular point, if you want to find deflection, shear force and bending moment at a particular point, when the concentrated load is moving, then we can get it from the influence line diagram. They provide a systematical procedure for determining how the reaction, shear, force, the moment or the deflection in a given part of the structure varies as the applied load moves about the structure. Means whenever the unit load is moving about the structure, how this shear force, the bending moment, deflection will be varying, that we can come to know while adopting the influence line diagram. While adopting the concepts of the influence line, we can get this variation. We can come to know about the variation that can take place while the unit load is moving from one end to the another end. Okay. Now, a question may arise that what is the difference between the influence line diagram and the bending moment diagram? Basically, the influence line represents the effect of load, the moving load only at a specified point on a member. Means when the load is moving and if we want to find its effect on a particular specified point, then we can get it from the influence line diagram. But in case of bending moment diagram, it will be representing the effect of the fixed load at all the points along the axis of the member. Means it is not at a particular fixed point, it will be at all the points and the loads will be fixed. So, this was the difference between the influence line diagram and the bending moment diagram. Okay. So, we are keeping up to this and thank you.
So, here we are ending our session. Hope you have liked the session. We have discussed each and every topic in brief and also in detail. We have discussed each and every topic's practical application also. So thank you for attending the session. And if you have any kind of a doubt, if you have any kind of a query, then you can send me your doubts and queries in mail. My mail is in my YouTube channel. Do check into my YouTube channel, like it, share it, and again thank you for attending this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.